Story 1. I do not like pickles on the burger itself. I am fine with having pickles on the side, but I am not a fan of having them in the burger. Story 2. Wet burgers, whether from grease, the vegetables, or overdoing the condiments. The bread makes up 50% of what makes a burger a burger. If it is saturated, the flavor is diluted. Story 3. The burger was cooked well done and dried out. Also, the ultra-thin smash burgers. Some smash burgers are good, but the ones that end up like a sheet of paper are not so much. Story 4. Sweet pickle. Some places around here have had that as a default topping. I am deeply opposed to it. Story 5. I like tomatoes on my burger, but a slice that is too thick or of low quality ruins the burger. Fortunately, it is easy to remove. Story 6. Swiss mushrooms, blue cheese, pickles, horseradish, jalapenos, turkey bacon, and raw onion. Story 7. Lettuce, tomato, mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, pickles. Let's put it this way. If there is anything other than meat, cheese, and bread, I do not want it. Story 8. Mushrooms are very greasy. If I press down on a smash burger and what seems like a quarter cup of grease comes out, that is disgusting. Story 9. I cannot eat onions. I hated the smell and taste long before I found out I am actually allergic to them raw. Story 10. The burger patties at restaurants that taste like ground steak or frozen patties with any ingredients besides beef contain no filler. Story 11. Soggy bun. When you get a burger at a picnic or event and the burgers are kept in liquid so they don't get cold or dry, it is very unappetizing. Story 12. If I bite into the burger and hear a moo, it needs to be cooked more. I only want to hear a faint clatter of hooves in the distance, so make that burger medium rare. Also, limp bacon on the burger is a turnoff. Make that bacon just on the jagged edge of being crispy. Story 13. Don't tell me I would prefer mine any way other than I like. A man once told me I have to have it medium or it is ruined. I ordered mine well done and he had a fit. Story 14. I am not against tomato, but I always order my burger without it because 99.9% of the time, what you get is a slice of the slimiest goo that will make your burger soggy. Story 15. There is too much filling, so you cannot taste the ingredients. It becomes a big mush that usually falls out the other end. Story 16. I once ordered a burger and asked, "Nothing unusual on it that is not on the menu, right?" The answer was no. My burger arrived 20 minutes later with no less than 1/3 cup of cold, mild salsa on top. So that, Story 17, too many toppings on it. For me, very controversially, that includes cheese. I like the taste of beef and there is plenty of beef fat in a good burger. I want raw onion and am usually fine with lettuce and tomato as they lighten the experience without killing the taste. That said, I am really just talking about fresh ground, hand-formed, plump, medium-rare patties here. Edit. Go do whatever you want to a frozen 3mm thick travesty. Story 18. Soggy bread from too much salad dressing. Slippery tomatoes that make the whole burger slip sideways on the first bite. Story 19. If you have had the McDonald's teriyaki chicken sandwich, everything about it is a turn-off. It is like a high teenager making the overwhelming tidal wave of sauce. Story 20. The middle slides out the back. It is taller instead of wider with mustard and onions, and it is so juicy that it disintegrates the bun. Story 21. Shredded lettuce might be easy, but it falls out of the burger. Use flat leaves and cut them to size. The same applies to anything else that might fall out while eating. A burger should be a single, coherent item. The whole point is to bind the flavors together, not eat them separately from the plate once it has fallen apart. Story 22. By far, it is a burger that is too tall or too big to eat in general. What is surprising is that I have been to restaurants that pride themselves on how large the burgers are. One time, I was going to order a burger at a new place and asked how tall it was. The waiter looked confused about why I was asking that. I repeated myself and asked him again, and he seemed offended. I finally got the answer and realized it was a burger that was way too tall, so I ordered something different. At another place, the burger came out very tall, and the owner bragged about how he loves putting on a show with the size of his burgers. It is disturbing that these people do not understand. Story 23. Toppings twice the height of the thickness of the hamburger, to the point where you almost cannot see the hamburger that you wanted. Story 24. Too salty. The pickles, I reckon, take care of the salty and sour needs. I want to taste the meat and cheese without excessive salt. Story 25. You are gonna hate me, but bacon is used too much. Bacon does not match the texture of a burger at all. Overpowers the flavor of a burger, and should remain a breakfast food. Story 26. I love burgers. They are probably among my top 2 favorite foods when well constructed. One thing I am still surprised by is how much I feel bacon ruins them. I can just take the bacon out and eat it separately, which is great. But bacon inside the burger really messes with it somehow. Story 27. Ketchup or any kind of thick sauce. Barbecue sauce is okay but should be used in moderation. If the burger patty is large, the bun needs to be proportional so it does not become completely soggy. Also, no lettuce. It is either a slimy leaf that pulls everything out of the burger when you bite it or shredded and piled on like confetti. Instead, get a side salad if you want lettuce with your burger. Story 28. Smash patty nonsense. Also, any genuine restaurant not asking how I want my steak cooked before taking the order is frustrating. The answer is medium rare, please. Story 29. I hate mayonnaise and I do not like how tomatoes make the bread soggy. I am good with everything else. Lettuce, onions, pickles, and mustard. I like wheat buns. Story 30. Crunch when I am not expecting it. For example, if there is an unexpected onion or piece of lettuce when I ordered no vegetables, it triggers a strong negative reaction in my brain. If I order vegetables, the crunch is expected and fine. However, if I order a burger with only soft ingredients, anything crunchy besides the bun ruins my appetite. Story 31. Tomato. It does not belong on a burger. I like tomatoes and hate pickles, and I would take pickles on a burger over tomato any day. Story 32. Bacon. I like bacon at breakfast, solo, or on a breakfast sandwich, or in a breakfast burrito. I like a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. But on a big hunk of beef, that is a meat crime. I am not into it. Story 33. When they are overpriced. I only eat vegetarian burgers, but sometimes they are very expensive. I don't want to pay 15 euros for something that is basically cheap, unhealthy fast food. Story 34. Mayo. I asked for no mayonnaise. I do not want remnants of mayonnaise that have been scraped off. Pickles that are more cucumber than pickle. Never mind then. Story 35. Sunny side up eggs do not add much except dripping egg yolks. Sweet pickles are not allowed, but relish is okay. It does not taste the same. Pineapple slices in there, please go away. Story 36. Pink or raw mince has a high surface area for bacteria to grow on. It should be thoroughly cooked to kill any bacteria. Story 37. Rocket? I do not like rocket. Too tall. I cannot unhinge my jaw like a snake. Too much sauce so everything slides around and off. The patty is too small for the burger and everything is out of alignment, baby. Story 38. Brioche buns or any soft bun. Really. The bun must provide structure and texture. Also, anything under medium well unless I just ground the beef myself. I will eat steaks that are still rare, but I do not trust supermarket or restaurant ground beef at all. Story 39. Smash burgers. I know I will get hate for this, but I cannot stand them. They are all charred. If I wanted that, I would just ask them to scrape the grill and feed me the junk. Story 40. Beef needs to be at least 50% of what is between the buns. You can add 10 of the best ingredients, but I will not want it if the patty is not the primary taste and texture in my mouth. Story 41. When I'm reading the menu and every burger listed has an excessive amount of toppings. Yes, I would like the double bacon smokehouse without the guacamole, aioli, house onion rings, fry sauce, and you can leave the pickles and tomatoes on the side. Most times, less is more, people. Story 42. Undercooked. Once, I went to a restaurant in America, and they asked how I wanted my burger cooked. All the way. Safely? What does that even mean? That was the day my Canadian self learned that Americans eat hamburgers not cooked all the way, and I was absolutely horrified. That feeling has never gone away. Story 43. Meat containing small broken bones, similar to tiny stones, can almost break your tooth when bitten and causes you to lose your appetite immediately. Story 44. American cheese. Sorry, but no, its physical properties being ideal for a burger do not excuse the fact that it tastes absolutely vile. Story 45. Tomatoes. Similarly, ketchup is used for completely different reasons. Raw tomatoes are slimy and unpleasant, and I just can't stand the texture. Ketchup is tomato paste with a lot of sugar. I would rather just have tomato paste. Story 46. The architecture of the sandwich has been compromised by too many goopy or slippery elements. It should hold together in one's hands as one takes a bite. It should not slide out the sides and become a messy handful of glop. It should also be possible to bite and get a bit of all the elements. Big issues are too much sauce or too much melted cheese. To be honest, I rate proper construction very highly. If a place serves me a mess that just slides out all over, I don't return. Story 47. Onions and tomatoes. I hate onions no matter how you cook them, and I do not like raw tomatoes. I like my hamburgers with cheese, mushrooms, pickles, some lettuce, and a bit of sauce depending on what is available. Story 48. Ice-cold condiments and vegetables really cool the whole burger down. Creates a weird contrast of temperatures in my mouth until I have a cold burger. I am picky with tomatoes and often order my burger without tomatoes. I dislike burgers with extra meats and proteins on them, such as fried eggs, brisket, or pork. Looking at the pictures of these burgers just turns me off. However, I am okay with a few slices of bacon. Story 49. When someone overloads a dish with one flavor and has no idea how to balance it. Western burgers are covered in super salty and sweet sauce, then topped with fried salty onion rings without even adding a slice of tomato, so you are left thirsty while trying to eat. The Baconator is similar. A huge beef patty with about half a pound of fried bacon on top, maybe some cheese, but they never bother to balance the flavors. After living in America and working as a chef for a long time, my suspicion is that they make fast food excessively salty to force you to buy an overpriced drink. Story 50. Untoasted brioche bun. Instantly soggy. If you insist on serving your burgers on brioche, fine, but it needs to be toasted. Otherwise, it will fall apart in 3 bites. Story 51. Expensive or cheap burgers like sliders are cool. You should try them at the Doghouse in Pasadena, California. I am never going to enjoy the cheap fast food burger, but I appreciate a good one at a diner or a fancy restaurant. At the same time, I am not paying $30 for a burger without fries. Burgers are simple to make, so finding a good middle ground is ideal. Anything outside of that feels like a betrayal. Story 52. I do not like burgers with too much sauce or dry meat, as they ruin the experience. Instead, I prefer a simple yet delicious burger that is well balanced and fresh. Story 53. I hate when it's like a chicken sandwich. I don't eat too many burgers, and the breading is too hard or the chicken is too thick or sticking out. Story 54. Any kind of burger that is just too much. It does not matter if it has excess patties, excess cheese, excess condiments, or whatever. If a burger is just too much, it is not for me. Particularly, the silly trend of burgers with cheese poured over them at the table is complete nonsense. Also, burgers that use luxury ingredients not because they actually make it a standout burger, but just to justify an excessive price. Story 55. Ketchup overpowers the other flavors. It is too sweet. I dislike mixing sweet into something that is supposed to be savory. This applies to hot dogs and fries as well. I am not a child. Story 56. I have to have cheese on it no matter what. If it does not, it is just a sad sandwich to me. It does not feel complete. Story 57. I'm picky, but I just want a well-done plain burger that doesn't make the bun soggy. Amazingly, that is a really tall ask. Story 58. Too tall, too greasy, usually dry. served open-faced, so I have to assemble it. The bun self-destructs from the leaking grease and dries out. I really dislike restaurant and bar-style burgers. I have never enjoyed one and stopped ordering them. They try too hard to look good and rarely succeed. I would rather get a high-end fast-casual burger. Story 59. The bun to meat to vegetable ratio has to be right. Burgers tend to be too tall and everything falls out, or you just cannot eat them without cutting. Story 60. I like a large burger but not too large. I am not trying to hurt my jaws while taking a bite. I also do not like onion, but I recently stopped disliking tomato, so I am going to see how this goes. Story 61. Pickles and mustard are two of the most disgusting condiments or toppings on anything, in my opinion. However, I love honey mustard. Story 62. What? I'll do you one better. With whom? Culver's. Semi-burnt toasted buns. Uncored tomato slices. Story 63. Lettuce, tomato, and onion always slip out and carry all the condiments with them. They take away from the burger's flavor when you get a bite with them. Story 64. Mayonnaise. Too many onions. Throwing uncooked tomatoes onto it makes the whole thing wet and soggy. Adding so much lettuce that the top falls off constantly. Story 65. Yellow mustard overpowers other flavors and turns the food into a strong yellow mustard taste, even if you scrape it off. Story 66. Lettuce. I'm good with most other toppings because they offer something in both flavor and texture. Tomatoes, onions, peppers, and so on. So it is not a no vegetable thing. It is about a needless ingredient. It does not need to be there. Use the lettuce in a nice side salad or something. I will enjoy that too. Story 67. Bun not toasted, so it gets soggy and lacks enough crunch. Onion is not caramelized, only raw. Raw bacon. Story 68. A good burger joint should never ask you how you want it cooked. It is ground beef, not a steak. You either cook it properly or you do not. Anyone who wants a burger rare is an idiot or a psychopath, and the cook should ignore them. Story 69. Smash burgers. A properly cooked burger can have some crispy bits without being flattened to a paper-thin consistency. It's just nasty. Story 70. Bad quality meat, undercooked or containing hard bits, ketchup, excessive mustard, and cheap vinegary pickles. Story 71. We have a restaurant in our area that uses shredded cheese on their cheeseburgers. You can get a cheese slice, but you have to remember to request it. I think it is ridiculous. I refuse to eat there because of this. It is one of my boyfriend's favorite places to eat. Story 72. Large patty. I honestly only like smashed burgers. Otherwise, it just tastes like a meatloaf between bread. Story 73. Cheap bread. It does not have to be expensive, but it should not be the soft burger buns you find at every fast food restaurant and store. It needs to have a nice crust and be toasted. Story 74. A deconstructed burger. I did not pay to assemble my own food. I want the plate in front of me ready to eat. Also, there is an increasing lack of condiments everywhere I go. No ketchup, mayonnaise, or even housemate sauce on my burger. Not even on the side. Story 75. Too many vegetables. I prefer meat, cheese, sauce, and onion or lettuce. Adding beetroot and similar ingredients ruins the texture. Story 76. If there is egg on it and it is too runny, or if the bacon is bad, other than that, it is hard to mess up a burger. Story 77. I like a very simple burger. Thin patty, like a smash burger. Cheese and A1 sauce. If the patties are thin, I don't mind too. I won't say no to bacon, but it is not needed. Anything other than that, and I would just order something else. If it is served to me, I will eat it. Burgers are still good even when they are not to preference. Story 78. I don't really like hamburgers, but if I see that it has 3 patties, then there is no way I am buying it. Also, the word impossible must mean possible if it is here, right? Story 79. Celery. They were out of salad, so of course it's interchangeable with celery since they are both green. Story 80. At minimum, my burgers must be grilled medium rare, seasoned with the appropriate amount of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. The inside of the buns must have a light layer of butter and be lightly toasted. Anything short of that and I will refuse to eat it with joy. I will still eat it though. Also, please do not tell my farmer. Story 81. I am not a fan of the brioche bun that seems to be on every burger these days. Give me the old style with sesame seeds on top. Story 82. So many. Why do I need a flip-top head to eat it? Why is there so much sauce? Using the best steak on the planet is a waste of that cow. Burgers are casual fare. It shouldn't be $50. A sunny-side-up egg sounds great in theory but is a mess. Put all the garden stuff on the side and let me pick what I want. Related, I don't need a whole onion slice. Just give me a few segments. Stop with the mayonnaise. Make a burger that doesn't need it. Fries should not be extra. Story 83. Too much sauce causes it to slide back after one bite. Please provide a side of ketchup or sauce to dip in before every bite. Stacked burgers are impractical. I see videos of them and it's a waste. Either open your mouth wide or take the burger apart and eat with a fork. Great burgers should not have grease oozing out and making a mess with every bite. Otherwise, you only taste the grease, which is unpleasant. Story 84. Burgers from cafes? I don't know, but they have a specific taste that is very different from fast food burgers. I don't like it. Story 85. Too tall, wet ketchup or sauce in general, truffle-flavored buns, really thin patties, floppy onion, floppy salad, really thick tomatoes, really wet tomatoes, added oil, dry patty. I think that's it. Edit. Pickles. Story 86. Brioche buns. Please avoid that and give me a normal bread bun. Also, fillings are stacked so high you have to dislocate your jaw to eat it. Story 87. Okay, maybe I'm crazy, but I swear on some burgers the bottom of the bun compresses and shrinks, making it difficult to hold, and you feel like you get no bread. I hate that. Story 88. 1. Falls apart the moment the skewer or knife through the middle is taken out. Too greasy is awful. A good burger should be juicy, not greasy. Too much or not enough sauce. Somehow burnt on the outside but red and bleeding in the middle. It is easy to see what they are trying to achieve, especially if you have ever eaten a burger in France. But this is the worst of both worlds. Smash burgers are a scam. Where is the rest of my burger, you cheapskates? Bad topping combinations or amounts. Many burgers have been ruined by too much arugula. Extension of point 6. The wrong type of cheese with the other toppings can ruin a burger fast. Story 89. Bread to patty ratio. I dislike tall burgers with thick buns and small, thin patties. All you can taste is flavored bread. Story 90. When the buns taste milky, sweet, and buttery, I absolutely hate it. I also dislike places that do not list all of the ingredients on the menu. I have had too many occasions where my burger arrived with cheese or mayonnaise. Story 91. When the burger is so tall you need an engineering degree to figure out how to eat it without everything falling apart. Also, when they put cold lettuce and tomatoes on a hot burger so everything gets soggy and sad. Just put that stuff on the side if you must. Brioche buns that turn into mush after one bite. Give me something that can actually hold up to the job it was hired for. Story 92. Mayonnaise or special sauce. If it gets all over the place, it does not go in this face. A bit of mustard for flavor is enough. Story 93. Undersalted beef. I went to a place once that did not salt the meat at all. They did not even salt the fries. What a waste of food. Story 94. If the patty tastes bland. I once went to Jollibee to try their regular Yum burger, and it tastes like a burger made by a divorced dad. However, their Champ Burger and Amazing Aloha Burger are great. I like them better than my favorite Big Mac from McDonald's. Story 95. Overflowing with so much sauce that my hands get all dirty after one bite. I mean, a minimum amount of sauce is okay to blend in with the flavor. You don't have to empty the whole bottle of ketchup on the burger. Story 96. Literally anything other than meat, patty, and cheese. Who puts tomato or lettuce in their burger? Story 97. I like to be able to choose my own toppings. I am not interested in someone else's opinion of what toppings belong on a burger or a pizza. Story 98. Tomatoes and ketchup. It is so common to put both on burgers that there is a 50-50 chance they actually leave them off when I ask. Story 99. Toppings and sauce. A good burger should let the meat be the star of the show. It should have flavor and be moist and juicy, so there is no need to add fancy sauce or strong cheeses. Good quality, well-cooked meat is the star. If you want a cheeseburger, fine. Add a slice of real mild cheddar, not processed cheese or any other wet cheese. Feel free to add a slice of unsmoked, unsweetened, and cooked, but not crispy, bacon. Sauces, salads, onions, mushrooms, and other toppings have no place on a burger. Put them on the side as a salad where they belong. The burger should be an actual burger patty, ideally around 1 inch thick uncooked, not paper thin like some places try to sell. There are quite a few burger turnoffs, I guess. Story 100. Someone else said this already, and it is an unpopular opinion, but American cheese. I personally dislike it because it is not even cheese and does not taste like real cheese. It just tastes like plastic and capitalism. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.